Now, this is exactly where Liverpool fans should be paying attention. Because after Victor Munoz, Liverpool are still being linked with more attackers. Yan Diomande, of course, has been mentioned, and he is the main target. But alongside him, you've got Yankuba Minte. He's been mentioned. Said Almala has been mentioned. One name that feels a little bit more under the radar is Matias Fernandez-Pardo. Honestly, when you look at his profile, you can understand why he might be at least on the list. He's young, he's powerful, he's versatile, he can play across the front line. I feel that that is something that Liverpool are really looking at this summer. And this season at Lille, he has started to look like one of those players who might be about to explode before everybody fully wakes up. So the obvious question is, who is Matias Pardo? Why would Liverpool, especially with new manager Iraola, be looking at him? Because this is not just, of course, about the goals and assists, it's about profile, just like it was with Victor Munoz. And from looking at it, Pardo has a very, very interesting profile. Let's take a look. So when we're taking a look at Matias, of course, he plays for Lille. He is right-footed and he's around 1.88 meters tall. And he's one of those attackers who does not fit neatly into just one position. That is probably the first thing you need to understand. He's not just a winger or a striker. He has played as a centre forward. He has played as a left winger, right winger. He's even had minutes as an attacking midfielder. And that versatility is one of the reasons clubs will be watching him. This season, the numbers have been relatively solid in Ligue 1. He scored 8 goals and 5 assists. Across all competitions, he's finished with 8 goals and 7 assists in 41 games. So we're not talking about a player putting up ridiculous numbers. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. There are other players who have got better numbers, but we are talking about a young attacker who is producing a small amount of numbers. He's still developing and he's showing a profile that Premier League clubs tend to like. He's got size, he's got speed, directness, box threat, and the ability to play in multiple attacking positions. That is where this starts to get real interesting. So now, of course, we look at the fun part, which is his style of play. Now, when you watch Fernandez Pardo, the first thing that stands out is that he does not play like a normal 1.88 meter forward. Usually, when you see an attacker that tall, you will probably expect maybe a target man, someone who, wants crosses, he wants aerial duels, someone who plays with his back to goal and tries to bring others into play. But Pardo is different. He's tall, but he moves like a winger. He carries the ball well. He can drift wide. He can attack the fullbacks. He can run in behind. And when he gets into the box, he has that striker instinct where he wants to arrive, shoot, and affect the final action. This is probably what makes him a little bit more interesting to the scouts. He's not just one thing. When he plays off the left, he can come inside onto his stronger right foot. When he plays centrally, he can stretch the back line. When he drifts into wide areas, he can isolate defenders and drive at them. That level of flexibility is always going to be valuable, especially for a team like Liverpool, who this summer look to be looking for a player who can play across the front line. Iraola wants a front line with more movement, more aggression, and a little bit more chaos. Fernandez Pardo gives you those options. He can be a left-sided attacker. He can be the central runner. He can be the forward who pins defenders. He can be the wide player who attacks space. And that matters because, as we know, modern attacks, they're not just static anymore. The best front lines, and I'm looking at PSG, the winger becomes a striker. The striker drifts wide. The attacking midfielder attacks the box. The striker sometimes drops deep. And Fernandez Pardo has the tools to fit into that kind of system. His heat map tells the story as well. There is activity across the front line, but the danger comes high and wide, then into the box. He's not just standing on the touchline waiting for the ball. He wants to end up in goal-scoring zones. So when we are taking a look at his profile, he's shown to be strong for touches in the box. He's strong for expected assists and for offensive duels won. I think that tells you he's not just drifting around looking nice. He is getting involved in the areas that matter. He can receive the ball under pressure. He can combine. He can attack the penalty area. And he can make defenders uncomfortable physically. For me, I guess that's quite important because Premier League football is not just about technical ability. You do need intensity. You need running power. You need players who can handle contact. He looks like he has that base, but this is also where we need to be balanced because he's not the finished article. The aerial numbers are not really that great, which is kind of interesting just because of his height. When you look at him and think he should really be dominating in the air, but right now that's not really his game and it's an area he does need to work on. He's not necessarily a classic number 9 who wins everything long. He is more of a mobile forward who wants to move, carry, run and try and combine. The other question for me is the consistency. There are games where he does look dangerous because he's constantly trying to make things happen. Then there are moments where the final action kind of still needs cleaning up. The shot, the final pass, the timing of the run, the decisions in the box. It's normal for a 21-year-old attacker, but it's still the next step. Because if Liverpool are looking at him, they are not just looking at what he is now, they are looking at what he could potentially become. And that is where the comparison with someone, say, like a Victor Munoz is interesting. Munoz looks more like a pure transition winger, player who carries, runs, stretches, and attacks space from wide areas. Fernandez-Pardo is a bit different. He feels more like a hybrid attacker, part winger, part centre forward, part inside forward. He may not be as clean as a creative winger. He may not be as dominant as a traditional striker, but the mixture is what makes him exciting because if you develop that properly, you get a player who can give you different solutions, within the same game. And for Iraola, I feel that could be useful. His football needs players who can press, run, attack quickly and play with intensity. Fernandez-Pardo has the physical profile for that. He can lead the press from central areas, he can chase into wide zones, he can run beyond the defensive line, and he can attack the box when the ball comes from the opposite side. That might be the type of attacker Liverpool may be looking for. Not just someone who looks good in possession, someone who can play fast, someone who can live in good transitions, someone who looks good in possession, someone who can make the game uncomfortable for defenders. Maybe he is the one player who could potentially do that. What do you guys think? So, in regards to my final verdict, can I understand why Liverpool would go in for him? Yes, I can sort of get it because, listen, look, he's tall, he's mobile, he's direct, he's versatile, and he's quite dangerous in the final third. He can play left through the middle, he can attack the space, he can carry the ball, he can arrive in the box. These are all plus points, right? And he does give you that kind of hybrid forward profile that modern managers love. So if Liverpool are looking at him as a flexible attacking option who Iraola can develop, then yeah, of course, it makes sense. But if they're looking at him as the main answer, sort of, to their kind of attacking problems, then yeah, that's when I have questions in regards to the type of player, that you're kind of signing. The tools are there for him, the profile is kind of there, the potential, of course, is there, but it's just now a question of whether Liverpool believe, if they were to go in for him, that they can turn that potential into Premier League output. So I'm very hesitant. I don't think this is someone that I would look at first glance, but again, he's an option for Liverpool and many other clubs this summer. Let me know your thoughts, of course, in the comment section, people. Would you take Matias Fernandez-Pardo at Liverpool, or would you rather Liverpool go for one of the other players who have been linked to the club? Let me know in the comment section, people. Keep the same energy, stay blessed, and I will catch you guys real soon. Peace.